Mr. Dorn, I believe you got the full consideration of information concerning registered vehicles and delinquent taxes for Edgefield County. This is you.
My question is simply that we need a current number of registered vehicles. Because it seems like every time we ask this question, it is not stable enough to determine is it updated or not within a particular date. So the first question is, how many registered vehicles do you have registered in this county? The number, not the expectation of what are the numbers.
So you're looking this way, down at the bottom right of the sheet behind your exhibit, the latest figures that our auditor, Mr. Gilchrist, had were 22,474 vehicles were registered for the prior fiscal year. That ran from July 1 of 07 to June 30th of 08. 22,474. And that number's been relatively stable over the last couple of years. Hasn't varied much.
Well, if you look at the minutes of September 2nd, 2008, it was budgeted for $225,000.
Right. That would have been based on the $10 road maintenance fee if there were 22,500 vehicles. It's $10 a piece.
Yeah.
So that figure you're referring to is within 26 vehicles of the figure for the last fiscal year.
So from September to May, the numbers have not increased or decreased?
Well, we don't have another complete year yet.
We got some purchased automobiles, because I just bought one the other day. So we got one more to that number.
Right. Well, a lot of times when people get a new one, they trade in the old one, and so there's not a net addition to the raw number that's registered in the county. So it's not just every time somebody buys a new one, it doesn't increase the number unless they go from having one car to two cars.
Okay.
So it remains very stable the last several years.
Now I haven't clearly understood, and I don't know, not so smart, I guess, but as to why we are $10 more on the fees and probably have not shown a deficit for that particular budget. I mean, we pay more, but what are we pricing for? Okay, we're paying $10, now we get ready to pay $10 more.
At $20, it would cover approximately cover the full cost of operating the roads department in the county, and it's a source of revenue. Some people think is a fairer source because everybody with the vehicle pays it, whereas on the millage, everybody doesn't pay tax millage. They don't own property.
But everybody doesn't own an automobile.
That's right. That's right. So this is just, I guess, spreading the tax burden around a little bit.
Well, let me ask you a long distance type of question there. Do you think there's going to be a millage to balance the budget in the 2019?
Well, that depends.
I know you're guessing. That's what we're doing.
That depends upon the budget that is passed at third reading. Depends upon the final budget. And then too, it depends if the state makes any additional changes to their numbers they're sending to the counties, and how we want to deal with that.
And the last question. Delinquent taxes. Now, my grandmama owned land, we could use Tiger Woods for the example right now. If you could hit a golf ball right there back door there, it would land on my grandmama's land, which is 13 acres of land. And we have a clear deed title on the land since 1889. I'm not talking about we moved to New York, Rock Hill, Charleston, and then came back to Israel. 1889, same place. Now, there may not be a point here, but we have never challenged the tax assessment, whatever they send out from the tax assessment we pay. And that brings me to the point, seeing like there are some folks who get a tax bill, they don't like to look at it, and that may not be a consequence we're not talking about. But we pay taxes there, because I can remember myself. For the roads was nothing but dirt, no fire, and all the convenience there. We still didn't say a word. Now, that is a long time. I think it's about 119 or 120 years that you're paying taxes on 13 acres of land. And remember, in the city you pay city tax and county tax. Now, not that we're looking for relief of any sort, but when you got folks who go to the tax board and don't like what they see, then they want their taxes to pay zero. And then properly, it has been stated in some occasion that they get a tax burden. You say, well, what does all that mean? Well, let them pay what's on the book or move to another county. And we may not have some of these deficits we now have for those who don't want to pay taxes, but they want the services. Now that's my statement.
Okay?
One more, Mr. Lee.
Huh?
Then I'll be finished for the night.
I thought that was the
Well, I lied. Delinquent tax, Mr. Lee. Okay. Last December, we missed one of my brother's tax notice because it's sent to the wrong place. When I found out about it, it's 3 months later. The delinquents on that property was $70. Now, if you look at all those in the newspaper where you see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who don't pay taxes, my concern has always been, when you do get these delinquent taxes, I think they go to the general treasury, is that correct or not?
That is correct.
So, if you just think about this one case I now have, because I paid the tax myself, it was $70 because he was late and because they didn't send you the proper address. Now, if you look at those thousands of delinquents in the newspaper, it seems like we ought to be able to find some of these money that people's asking about that need for their concern, like Tompkins Library or whatever else people are talking about. And I don't think we're looking at this close enough. Because 70 times or whatever thousand that was being late is a lot of money that's not being given to the treasury itself, but to the general treasury.
Let's go on at $70 goes to pay for the cost of that delinquent collection. You have to do several mailings. You have to do certified return receipt mailings. You have to go out and post that property, physically post a sign on the property, take a picture of it. You have to run it in the newspaper. I think it's for 3 weeks in a row. Then you, of course, have to advertise the sale and have the sale. So it's a lot of cost involved, and that's what that $70 you're referring to goes to pay the cost of that delinquent collection.
So then you're saying that if a person owes more than $70, then he pays the same amount as the person that owes $70? Some ought to be left to go to the treasury.
The tax itself on the property goes to the treasurer. These fees that you were asking about, that's what goes to the cost of the collection.
Okay, Mr. Lee. I'm finished for the night.
All right, good. All right, let's see.